Hello, hello. We are back. We're back. Hey, everybody. Terry here with the Tailored Realty team. Before I get started, just wanted to say make sure I'm mic'd up here. Couple things new. I got a new microphone I'm trying out, so hopefully this will come in clear and everything will work out okay. We haven't been here for a minute. We've been out of commission for a couple of weeks. Thankfully, Yolanda and I were able to celebrate 30 years of marriage on May 25th. So, you know how it is. Anytime you want to get more work, have more work at your disposal, plan a vacation. So, we kind of slowed down the week prior to, and I wasn't able to do an episode then. Of course, we were gone. During our anniversary, so I didn't do one then. Once you get back, you have to play catch up. So the long story short is we've been gone for a minute, but we're back. We're going to start getting more back into our routine. This is our 16th episode. Um, as I've stated in the past, feel free to throw some comments in the comment section if you got any questions. But this is our weekly home workshop. We're here for episode 16. Um, every Wednesday around 12:15, we spend about 15 minutes breaking down real estate topics for buyers, sellers, homeowners, investors. It's simple, practical, easy to understand. So let's just go ahead and jump into today's topic. Today we're talking about a question we hear quite a bit is, how much money do you really need to buy a home? And that's one of the questions we get quite often. And let's go ahead and deal with the myths for starters. Many people believe you need 20% down, you need perfect credit, and you need tens of thousands of dollars saved. And so, because of these misconceptions, a lot of times people will delay home ownership for years. Um, Not true. You know what? You might be a little bit closer to home ownership than you think. So, you don't necessarily need 20% down, you don't need perfect credit, and you don't need tens of thousands of dollars saved. Now, are we saying those things aren't good? No, that's not the statement. The statement is you just don't have to have all those things lined up like that. 20% down could help you, right? And you won't have as much to finance. Perfect credit or a real good credit score will bring your interest rates down and open you up to make you available to take advantage of different programs and program types. So the better your credit, the better. So we're not saying don't do those things, but we just want you to be informed to know that, again, you may be closer than you think. And those are some misconceptions that may stop you from purchasing a home. So, what do you need? Let's talk about some of the main costs of buying a home. There's generally four categories uh, of money that buyers should understand: earnest money, down payment, closing costs, and then you can talk about maybe moving and setup costs. Um, Even when buying a home, not mentioned in those four, but maybe probably a part of it would be even money set aside for inspections and inspection work. Because a lot of times, whenever you're doing inspections on a property, whether it's a home inspection, termite, whatever the big inspections are that you plan to do, roof, you may need funds at the time of inspection in order for those inspections to be performed. Earnest money. What is earnest money? It just shows that you're serious about the purchase. A lot of times, it'll strengthen the offer that you make. If you got an offer with earnest money versus an offer without earnest money, generally speaking, the offer with earnest money is going to be um, a little bit stronger. It's going to be a better position. It's not required here in South Carolina. You don't have to do earnest money, but we generally highly recommend it. And again, like I said, it just puts you in a little bit better situation. The down payments are going to vary by loan type. So it just kind of depends on what loan type you're dealing with, which will dictate how much of a down payment, or even if you need a down payment. Certainly, closing costs. When you think about closing costs, think about your lender fees, attorney fees, the fees associated with the title work, making sure you have a clear title, any kind of prepaid items that need to go into it. Those, you can think about those as your closing costs. And then when you're thinking about like moving, you got utilities, your furniture, your moving expenses, things like that. Think about those as some of your moving and setup costs. Certainly, some should happen after closing, but you need to have them available for the closing process. Number one thing to take away here is the down payment isn't the only piece of the puzzle, right? There's other pieces to the puzzle when it comes to buying that first home. So next, let's talk a little bit about why do loan programs matter? What difference does it make, and what are the different types of loan programs? We've talked about this in other segments. A lot of this information is already out there. Many of you may know there's VA loans, FHA loans, which are those government-backed loans. You got conventional financing, and quite a few down payment assistance programs with each. These down payment assistance programs, they're going to vary from company to company, bank to bank. Mortgage companies have different programs. All programs aren't the same. Uh, all companies don't offer all the same programs. So the right loan can really affect how much cash you need up front and how much cash you need to bring to closing. So before you assume you can't buy, find out what options are available, find out what kind of loan programs there are out there, and these may be able to help assist you with the whole buying process. So find out what the loan programs, because the loan programs really do matter and they do count. Don't forget, if you want to throw something in the chat, throw something in the comment section. Maybe you know about a home program or some type of lender program that really helped you out. Certainly, you don't have to get into the specifics, and we know it's not like a one size fits all. But if you qualify, maybe there's something out there people need to be aware of and need to understand. There's also, I guess, there's incentives for buying in certain areas, and again, your lender can talk about those kind of things. Um, what kind of economic incentives there may be based on what area you're looking to move to. So, what should buyers do first? A lot of times, buyers will come in, and the first thing they want to do is go looking at properties. Let's go look at some houses, and of course, that is the exciting piece. That's the part you really want to get to. Go finding that home, but that really shouldn't be your first step. So, rather than guessing, let's take these next steps to see exactly what we should be doing. Number one, go ahead and speak to a lender before you get started. Review your credit. Take a look at your credit. It's good to know what your credit is. Don't worry if you don't know. Once you start speaking to a lender, they're going to do some pulls on your credit anyway. But review and know your credit. Also, you probably want to build a savings plan because just like we just discussed, there's going to be some funds that you need up front. I mean, there's no way around it. Whether it's earnest money, closing costs. So start building a savings plan. If you're thinking about buying, go ahead and start saving because the more you have saved, the better your situation is going to be, right? That's going to be more powerful for you the more money you have saved up. And then understand your budget. What do I mean? So uh, one of the things that during our consultations, I know a lot of times Yolanda's talking to our buyers about budget. Because what will happen is, let's say you have perfect credit, let's say everything looks good, and you qualify for a loan that'll put you, let's say, at a $400,000 loan you qualify for. Do you want to go look for a $400,000 house? Let your budget tell you, because you know what kind of payments you're going to be comfortable with. Find out what that is based on what you qualify for. Do the payments match with what your budget says? So have your budget ready up front. That way you can see if things match together. Remember, knowledge removes the uncertainty of moving forward. So if you already know, look, I don't want to spend more than $2,000 on a mortgage or $2,500 on a mortgage. If you know that going into this up front, then you're able to understand your numbers, not overextend yourself or get yourself in a situation where you can't stay in the house that you're looking for. So your first step isn't house shopping. It's becoming informed about how much you qualify for and what your budget and what your setup tells you you're ready to do. So those are some of the first things you want to do. So let's look at some of the key takeaways. I think we're about ready to wrap up. Remember, it's just a quick 15-minute segment. We're not doing any real deep dives. I just want to give you some information to think about, some things to consider whenever you're making these home purchases or anything. Really, any big ticket type of purchases, these are good. Number one, you may not need 20% down. Again, different loan programs, different loan types have different requirements, and they may open you up and expose you to different kinds of programs that can help you out there. Closing costs matter as well, so be sure you're prepared for closing costs. Sometimes that's an aha gotcha moment once you start getting into the process. So know that closing costs are coming. Remember, those are associated with lender fees, attorney fees, anything, any prepaids, anything that you're doing, title work, those kind of things are caught up in closing costs. And the other thing you want to make sure you're doing is talk with professionals early. That can save you a lot of time and frustration when you start talking to people early and get, early in the process, get the understanding, talk to a real estate professional, a mortgage professional, so you can be clear on what you qualify for and what kind of things you should be doing when it's time to purchase your home. Don't go at it alone. That's what we're here for. We're real estate professionals for this very reason. We want you to qualify. We want you to get a home. When people can purchase their home, I think it gives them a different feeling of a sense of responsibility, a sense of community. We should really be rooting for our family members and our friends to take advantage of the American dream, which is home ownership. And look, if you're wondering how much money you might need to buy a home, we'd be happy to help you understand your options, connect you with some of the trusted lender professionals that we deal with on a daily basis, and just give you some general guidance along the way. We are not lenders, we're not mortgage professionals, but we do understand the process, and we can certainly put you in contact with some professionals and find one that's right for you. Don't forget, if this was helpful, please don't keep this to yourself. Share it with somebody that can use it. I know these are very basic, elementary type topics, but that's what some people need when they're just starting out. We don't want to get too complex and don't want to dive into the weeds too much. Let's keep it simple. Simple is good sometimes. So thank you for joining us. If this was helpful, share it with somebody. Don't keep it to yourself. Add your comments in the comments section. We'd love to hear what you think and what you're saying. If there's something that you want us to discuss and deal with, add that to the comments as well. Head on over to our YouTube channel where there's a catalog of previous episodes, not to mention on our Facebook channel, our Facebook page. There's some past episodes there as well. Thanks again for joining us. Remember, don't make a move without us, and we'll see you on next Wednesday for at 12:15 for an episode of the Weekly Home Workshop. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.